Welcome to the Chatbox, everybody. This is episode 9. Can you even believe it?
No.
9 episodes already in, and we are working really hard to get people to go to YouTube and all the platforms, so we will throw it out there for you guys on social media. This is a very important Chatbox that we have going on today, everybody. This is somebody that I've known so long that I feel super old. But I've seen you transform from somebody that's always done things for people as far as service, you know, hair and cryo and all these great things that you've always wanted to take care of. I would say the female human spirit, but really anybody.
Yeah.
Men, women alike, everybody. Yeah. So you've been actually doing my hair for I've been out here for 15, almost 16 years, and only you have touched my head. Now the grays are coming in, and you've parlayed into something bigger and better. But I'm going to look like an old hag until I figure out.
No. There's a girl that has taken over my clients, and everybody loves her.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. You guys, this is traumatic enough. But that's not why we're here. We are here to work on my trauma another day. This is what's really cool. You decided, instead of working with dirty heads, you worked with dirty minds. This is really cool. You decided to start studying the art of hypnosis, and you are an hypnotic coach.
Yes.
And that's super cool because it's not really a life coach. This is something where you actually use a practice to get people to release their minds of worry and stress and addiction and depression and grief and pain, and I know that there's a lot more. And
smoking and weight loss. And
that good stuff
just
too.
intrusive thoughts. So it's
chocolate.
Right, totally. And I went from working on outside the head to inside the head. It's like a half an inch difference because I would see clients who, oh my gosh, I've done so many weddings up here, right?
Yes, she has.
So like women that are
seen a lot of pictures
in their 60s saying, don't let his new wife look better than me.
Oh.
And it would break my heart going, oh my God, you've got 4 daughters and you're 60-something years old and you have never developed a self-esteem? Not that it's too late, but
it's never too
would
late,
break my heart.
But people hold you back when you let them.
No, we hold ourselves back.
Well, but if there's somebody that continues to put something in your mind, and if you're allowing it to happen, like you said, we do let that happen. But when there's somebody saying continuous things to us, we develop a pattern of the same thought process. I know that's a fact, but I know that a hypnotic experience could turn it around.
In a one appointment sometimes.
The one thing you taught me,
but it's when people take on that story.
Right.
So like if they're in an abusive relationship,
but where we do that,
the person might leave, but the person that stays picks up the bat and keeps beating themselves with it.
That's 100% correct.
They've just, it's been drilled into their head that they're not worthy. They're never going to amount to whatever the story is. But it also that couldn't latch in if there weren't a history of that. So,
sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like most of our stuff happens before 7 or 8 years old, and that critical factor starts to build, and because we're still in trance, we're still in
when does the brain actually completely mature? You
25.
Yeah.
You know, so
that
like
blew my mind.
Yeah.
My 25-year-old mind. No, seriously, I thought it was 17.
No. So if we can keep kids from doing drugs in a abusive way, as an alcoholic, as an addict, until they're 23 years old, the chances of them not becoming an addict or an alcoholic are staggering, like in the high 80%. It's huge.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's huge.
Yeah. Where were you when I was 17?
Well, I was right there with you, doing lines and drinking.
We were together.
So,
we used to bartend together.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
In Miami at a nightclub that closed at 6 a.m. Imagine what we were like.
I hope you have
long
pictures.
I've known this woman. She's just. We both have evolved into whole different people, and it's great. And you know, living a. This is not a show about sobriety, but sometimes sobering up a little bit really does
save your life.
Make a huge difference and save your life, and you wake up kind of feeling good.
Yeah.
But my point is this: that as long as I've known you, I've learned a couple of really important things, and you also told me something once that I'll never forget. Did you know that a traumatic event, PTSD-inducing event, can change your DNA?
No, I didn't know that.
Changes your DNA.
Blown mind, okay? She
Yeah.
told me this
Yeah.
when we interviewed on TV, and I have to say, I was like, what? Wait,
Trauma
what?
can change your DNA.
No wonder I'm not like anybody
But-
in my family.
It can recover it too. You can have a positive trauma in a form of a hypnosis or in a guided meditation, or like people that practice meditation on a regular basis, they just get a connection with their higher power, with their higher self, with God, Buddha, Allah, whatever their higher being is, and they can have also a huge snapshot moment where the body takes a snapshot and all that stuff falls away.
Sounds
because
like
the body
EMDR
keeps the score.
with a
Well-
psychiatrist almost, because it doesn't really melt away, but it goes into a nice little cabinet that we have back there. It's like a little,
So what I like,
safety box.
hypnosis different from EMDR is
Tell me why.
we don't have to relive the trauma.
Ooh, so yeah, because EMDR, they hook you up to stuff and you have to think about everything that happened and you
Yeah.
have to go through it again in your mind. But then it does kind of.
With the eyes, right.
So wow, you don't have to go.
We don't have to exhume the body. We don't have to return to the scene of the crime.
No exorcisms.
So, like, if I have a client that calls in and says, I work with sexual freedom hypnosis.
So
a lot.
what is that? People that are like uptight in bed or something like that, then they need to like let loose more,
Well-
or open up their minds and legs better. What?
I can say that 86% of women are not having orgasms during intercourse.
Well, I never did either, but boy, I know how to get them the other way, and that's fine with
Right.
me.
But I think it correlates almost directly to 3 out of 4 women have been assaulted or
Excuse me.
abused or traumatized or
So
something,
do you think
right?
that has something to do with the fact that
Absolutely.
they're not having climaxes?
Yeah. There's shame, guilt. We have to give ourselves permission for pleasure. If you had a toxic parent that was constantly just berating you, or, even when you did something right, there
It's
was
my dad.
always,
I
right.
feel like I'm the poster child for this conversation.
Right.
Now.
Well, nobody gets out alive, right? Nobody.
Well, you get out alive, you just get out a little scathed.
Yeah. So we all have scars and,
Internals.
internal scars, external scars. So, when we're under stress, and women especially, I think, carry a lot of stress without even acknowledging it. It's just, what do you mean? I don't have a choice. I have to get the kids up, do the breakfast in the morning, get their lunches packed, do the laundry, drive them to school, pick them up from school, whether they have a spouse or not. She's doing all that, managing all the, so one of the biggest things I ask people is, what is your purpose here on Earth School? Like, moms, business moms, aren't even on their list. Mm-hmm. It's the job, the kids, the husband, the spouse, the household,
It's their world.
the driving, the
but what
sports.
do they do for themselves?
Yeah. And so if we're under stress like that and we're not taking care of ourselves, eventually the body can get sick.
Let me tell you something. This was Jen's life several years ago, so that's why I'm really interested that that's the topic you decided to decide. She's a young mama now; she has grown boys. But what was it like for you? Now I'm really curious. Were you going through what she's talking about?
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because by the time I was 25, I had 2 kids already. So I had my first son at 22, my second at 25.
Okay, so 22 is 2 years away from a teenager.
Yeah.
And your brain wasn't fully functioning, fully formed yet.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Wow.
It's
I
a
think-
lot. Marriage is
was
for
a lot.
adults. Having kids is for adults. And we take it so lightly. And there are a lot of messed up parents out there that are
Well, a lot of
Not
kids
aware
get
of
married
it.
too young and have to. But the cool part is you actually did come out okay. Now, you didn't have the best marriage, and you did not have the greatest relationship with your ex when you just went on to being that single mom for a really long ride. So you went through all of the stressors that Kacee's talking about.
you couldn't dare put yourself on the list.
Exactly.
You couldn't dare.
Yeah.
Right, but you've come through.
Yeah.
I mean, from who I know you, because I did not know you as Mom Jen. I only know you as Jen Lucy. And I think that you're amazing. So you pulled yourself out of whatever the craziness that you were going through. Too bad you did not have a Kacee during the
Yeah.
midst of all that.
You must have had someone to
Well,
help
yes,
you.
I definitely had support. I didn't
Good.
do it all by myself.
Right.
And I had family, I had friends, I had support, but it was also a big climb up a very gigantic mountain, and a lot of it was uncharted for me.
Sure.
And I think I do still hold a lot of that trauma. It's buried deep, and I do think it affects me in the way that when I move forward in my life, the way I present myself, the way I carry myself in new relationships, and how I feel I'm going to be perceived.
Yep.
How many times that I've had to be like, oh, you're a mom. Like, you look
You have
like
too much baggage.
Yes, yeah. Or, you don't look like you should be a mom. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's just
You
a
get
lot
all
of
of
judgment that I get, where it's just like, I feel that, for the most part, I feel like I've band-aided it. I've moved past it. I ignore it. But, I think
But your body keeps the score.
my body definitely keeps the score.
So when a
That's
guy
interesting way
says
to
something,
put
or
it.
when a teacher or
Oh,
a
yeah.
person of authority says something and it triggers something historically, because you haven't worked through it, you've stuffed it,
Absolutely.
right?
Right,
But-
that's what I was basically saying. We
Yeah.
keep it until
Yeah.
we can find a way to release it.
or we implode. We either explode or we
We did,
implode.
and
so
that
we
happened
either
to
make
me.
ourselves sick or
Imploding
we
is
blow up
probably
the school.
harder than exploding, because exploding is easy. It's like, imploding is all internal, and that's where you get sick.
Yeah.
So we don't want to implode.
No.
And what I was thinking, we do have, Jen, what do you think? I would like Kacee to put you through a hypnotic
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Process.
So
Yes.
a process, thank you. So I'm thinking
process.
that we should do that now. How long? Like about a 10-minute one, maybe.
Yeah.
So because we don't want people to go,
Right. Right.
or I don't know, get them all involved somehow.
Do you want to do it at the end?
Well, that's what I was wondering. We could do it at the end. We also have a hot seat question for you, and we wanted to go over just a couple of things. What we like to do sometimes is do a wellness check between all the people that are in our little studio at the time. So I always like to check in on everybody and see how everyone's doing. So we can do that, and then we can maybe ask you your hot seat question.
Okay.
And then I would like to do the hypnosis
Cool.
process, because I believe in it. You made me cry one time. She, I was gonna interview her, but I wanted to know what the process was, so she came over to my house, and I forgot what I was remembering or listening to, whatever you were saying. Going to some place that made you I forget whatever it was, but I started crying. So I'm like a real.
So
joy.
know that whatever comes up in hypnosis is only coming up because you're ready to release it, right? I don't bring up or relive the crime scene or pull up anything
Right,
like
you don't. No, it just matters that it still lives within you. So even if you bring up something like, find that place that brings you that special joy where you're safe. All of a sudden you start thinking, remember when you weren't safe? Like, that's what happens to me. I am not a good candidate with this.
You
I
did
start
great.
battling it. I'm
But
like,
you came out feeling better.
Yeah, I did actually. I felt lighter.
And surprised that I could hypnotize you because you were like, I worked with this guy for years on stage. And right?
I worked with Denny Moore, who is a hypnosis comedian.
Oh,
he gets
cool.
people on stage and puts like 20 people down.
Really?
And I would sit there and I'd be watching the whole time, like, well, nothing happening to me. Why?
because you were on the job.
Oh,
So
so I was
like,
revved up, and I was his opening act, so I was just being funny, and then I would sit and watch him make these people do real stupid things. And it
Well,
was
here's
a
the thing.
lot of fun.
I'm working on a show.
I know.
We're going to do a show
I
soon.
know. Well, I can help
So-
you write the comedy part if you ever need.
I do need.
All right, so first of all, I would like to know how everybody is doing. This is, as you know, I've told you about the Chatbox. Our biggest mission is to help people in any way, shape, or form when it comes to mental health and awareness and feeling better about ourselves, and maybe bring in a little joy, laughter, something serious, a purpose, a way to make somebody feel accepted in our community.
Yeah.
Another way for people that might feel lonely to not feel lonely. There's so many things you can do to not feel lonely.
Yeah.
Art classes right over here. You don't have to be lonely if you just wander through Riverwalk.
It's true, man.
Seriously.
You know, there's never been more help than there is right now.
There's that too, and we're working on it, and we really
Yeah.
want that to happen. But there's nothing wrong with people that have experience with a lot of traumatic events in their lives to bring on other people that can add something
Absolutely.
to what we already have here.
Absolutely.
And the professionals do their job as professionals. We are just here to bring light to people like you. How many people know that you do hypnosis in our community?
Not
that
nearly
many
enough.
yet. Well, they will soon, you know,
Yep.
and we're going to give out all your information. So as far as your health and wellness and your mental being, how are you doing?
You know, I'm probably better than ever.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because usually you're going through a lot.
Yeah. Well, we always have a million moving parts, right? But I've been working with self-hypnosis And
Oh.
my coach, and that's something that I help people with when I go through the coaching program is, like if I can say, I can take away the fear or the phobia or the smoking or the motion sickness, whatever someone's going through. But if they're not drinking enough water, if they're not taking care of their nutrition, if they're not sleeping, and if they're not
So you
doing
have to
enough
do the work,
exercise. So I meet with people twice a week,
Oh,
and we check in, and then we do a process, and we check in the next week, and we do a process.
I like that.
And it just kind of, it builds momentum, and it helps them get unlocked from whatever they're
I
stuck
like
in.
that.
But
I
that's a
think
big part of it is the
that's
physical,
probably why you feel
physical,
so
structural,
good.
emotional, mental,
You're doing great
spiritual.
things and you're helping people.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think
amazing.
that's probably giving you a better purpose
Big time.
than weaving a hair piece.
Oh,
into
I mean,
someone's head.
making people feel great on their wedding day is awesome.
That's different. I'm
But-
talking about the everyday.
Yeah, but even the
in
everyday,
out.
doing highlights
She
and
got mad because I
haircuts.
had dirty hair one day. Okay, all right. I don't blame her though. Who's gonna touch a dirty head?
But I mean, sending someone out with pretty hair and they feel good for a little while, but I know they're going back to a destructive marriage, or they're going back to kids who
it's
haven't
only
spoken to them in 20
superficial.
years,
This is inside.
or if they've lost a spouse or a
Now
child.
you're internalizing help, and that's
Yeah.
even bigger and better because you can suck fat all day, but you can't, So self-hypnosis, is that like mind masturbation?
A little bit.
I thought so. I'm
A
so
little bit.
excited.
And we need that because we become what we think about, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if someone's always saying, oh, it's so hard to find a guy in this town. It's hard if you say it's
Never
hard.
gonna find it.
It's hard to find a job. It's hard if you say it's hard. So everything is you pushed out. So like if you get into the car and you're like, oh, the traffic's going to suck. Well, here's the traffic. I knew it. Yeah, you caused it. You know what I mean? So we really, 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 we're placing an order,
manifest a
whether
lot.
we want it or not. So order what you want. Don't order what makes it harder.
Right, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And we are mostly that glass half empty people.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
It's like
that
get a smaller glass.
like that, or just turn the damn glass upside down and don't worry about it filling up or being empty, because you just gotta go with the flow. But it's very hard for people that are always dealing with stupid little things and is always coming at you. So
Yeah.
it's a tough mind. It's like a circus in there, and I know you are very much like that. So that's why I wanted you to work on a specific something with Jen. She has adult ADHD. Okay, big
Same.
time, like big time.
Me too. Yeah.
So, but I know
So-
that hypnotic sessions can help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's really neat. Okay.
Absolutely.
So wellness check on you, girl.
I am exhausted. Just because I've been, working in between Denver and Avon, so driving back and forth, so being stuck in traffic and trying to keep it all
Yeah.
together, and forgetting to drink water and
it's
not having
important.
time
All
to
the things she
exercise.
says to do.
Literally all the things, yes, that you're saying, equal the
Just to get balance.
exactly
To
There's-
get continuity. Because if we're out of congruence, like if you say my family's the most important thing, but you're working 100 hours a week and you're never with your kids, then your family's not the most
No.
important thing. Money is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Or career or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get it. You have to feed these kids.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're out of congruence, and that's what I help people kind of find, it's like, what really is your purpose here?
Yeah.
Because whatever you say it is, you're out of congruence, or you'd be doing that.
Yep.
Well, and that's the interesting thing too, because I feel like now, my kids are grown and flown, as they say.
Mom
and
in a
so
box. Mom in a box.
thinking about what is my purpose? I
have a
don't
new
know.
purpose.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that's
and so
exciting.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Yeah.
is exciting, but it's also, can be overwhelming, and it can also, feel like I'm just spinning in circles.
Right. So the feeling of anxiety and the
Yeah.
feeling of excitement are the same butterflies.
Yeah.
The same,
Right.
right?
It's
So
just
just
like any
so
kind
you
of
have that, just
thing.
say this is what excitement feels like. It's
Right.
the same as anxiety feels like. So you have to just shift it. It can
Exactly.
be overwhelming if you let it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can say, look at all the things I've accomplished. Let's work on our strengths and build on that. Because what if the only thing wrong with you is that you think there's something wrong with you?
That's true.
That's usually the case anyway. I mean,
Right?
like, I am my own worst enemy. You
Yeah.
know me for years, and you know me
Absolutely.
long enough to know that I beat myself up whenever anything.
Yeah, if beating
is
yourself up
my-
worked, it would have worked by now.
Nah, it's great
So what if
self-motivator.
you? It's not.
No, I'm
it's
kidding.
destructive,
I'm
and
just
it makes you sick, and it makes you tired,
Please,
and
it makes me angry at myself for being angry at myself. You have
Exactly.
no idea.
I
It's
do.
just a
I do.
vicious freaking circle, and I hate it.
I totally get it.
But I know that I plan on, first I thought it would be hard for her because I've known her for like 30-something years.
So I've been sober for 32 years,
Yeah, she's
and
been
I've known
sober-
you since before I got sober.
Yeah, and that's not my case. I mean,
Congratulations, that's
Right?
amazing.
she went
So I
real
incorporate a lot of
sober,
that
like
into my-
she's in programs and stuff like that. Me, I just stopped doing shit. I don't know. I just got my body was like, okay, I don't like that
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So it just kind of phased out for me. But self medication was a big part of my journey to numb out all
Absolutely.
the crap. And
'Cause
it
there was a lot of
yours
crap.
too, and you found a way to get out, and you found something that's very comforting for you. Though the AA for you is amazing. I mean, it's turned you into this magical human. I mean, you were always a wonderful lady, but you have this internal peace now. That's you used to be angry a lot.
Yeah.
very angsty, but you're not. So I
Yeah.
love that about that, and so that's why I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. And I know you got shit going on, but you're gonna be all right. I know you are, because I've gotten to know you so well in the last 2 years now or something, and close to that anyway. It feels like I've known you my whole life. But I see how hard you want to take that next step and to make a new change and to evolve into the next beautiful lady that you're going to be. And whatever it is, you're going to conquer it. That's why you joined the Vail Valley Theater Company, because it's a new, exciting thing for people. My friend told me one time, I'm so bored, I'm so depressed, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, hey, you want to come to improv with me? And they did.
Yeah.
And they go all the time now.
Awesome.
So that's a wonderful thing. And I go all the time now, except for the week I had my tooth pulled. But, it's the beginning of every month, and it's something that just
You
brings
found your people.
I found my people. Weird people are my people.
Yeah.
People are strange. So anyway, my well-being right now is good. I have learned something important. Sleep. Sleep is big. No, I mean, like, even oversleeping. I don't care. I slept for so long the other day, I woke up, I couldn't even move my neck. I was like, I don't care. I'm so happy right now. I was so rested.
Sleep is huge. I know
It
people
really
that
is huge. You don't have to oversleep. Hi, Boo Boo. That's Brewster, everybody. This is the best doggy in the world. He does therapy, too.
he's a hypno dog.
All right, so that is basically what we wanted to do. Now, there is one thing our community needs to know about before we get into your hot seat question, which is written on your paper. There is a guy that we all know and love in our community, Nevada Lee Furrow. He had a bad headache, ended up in the hospital because he was worried, had
Smart.
an aneurysm. He's there for 2 weeks, and then he needs some sort of procedure done. It is hopefully not life-threatening, but this guy I know lives hand to mouth, and he is an amazing human being. He's a local yoga studio instructor, and he is a local DJ, and we've all known him for many, many years.
Heart
He
of gold.
played the comedy show that I did over at Route 6 Cafe and Lounge. He plays at all my comedy shows and so many other events, and he throws pink elephant parties, and he's a really good-hearted soul. With that said, there's a fundraiser out on Facebook and all Instagram, all that stuff. Nevada Lee Furrow. Look up the name, please. And if you have $1, $20, whatever you can donate, please donate to our friend Nevada, because he could use all the help he can, because this is somebody, like most of us, running around without insurance, hoping not to fall down.
Right.
And stuff happens. So we love you, Nevada Lee, and we're going to help any way we can. Any little bit helps.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so now with the chat box, every week we put our guest in the hot seat. What do you want?
I want my phone for a sec.
Well, you can't cheat on the seat.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Just direct your feet to the hot
Tell me.
seat.
What's
This
the
is
hot
a thing
seat?
off the head. You don't have to look at up
Right.
nothing.
It's all right.
Get off that
It's
phone.
all good.
Okay, Jen, she comes up with her questions every week, and this is your hot topic question of the day.
So, Kacee, what is the biggest issue you find in people that you wish you could fix through hypnosis more than any other issue?
Okay, so
Like, what do you see?
let's start with that verbiage. I don't fix anybody. Anyone that has an issue that they're working on, they have all the answers inside of them.
I love that.
I just help to unwrap and get down to the core of what they know is best for them. But what I wish I could help people most probably is self-love, because, when we're smoking, when we're overeating, when we're beating ourselves up, when we're drinking too much, when we're escaping, if we loved ourselves like our higher power loved us, if we could see us the way people that love us see us, we wouldn't self-mutilate. with those things.
Whoa. My
Right?
back of my head got goosebumps. I've never had that happen to me before.
Yeah. So
Oh
I
my
really, that's
God.
the big premise. Like this, I call my program "Love You Mean It" because, like, who would you be without your story, without your weight story, without your trauma story, without your shitty parent story, without your they owe me story, without your financial woe story, without the victim story, without,
true.
it's without that story. If we could just peel off that layer that we've put so many labels on ourselves, all these Post-it notes all over ourselves, we can't even see ourselves. So I try and take people back to that that movie with the older people that were Cocoon,
Oh gosh.
right?
Yikes.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
Where the
I
girl
love that movie.
kind of unzips herself and she's this glowing, bright soul, this little slice of God.
A worm.
And I've told so many women, if you could see you the way I see you, and the way that your children see you, and the way that your husband sees you, and the way that this community sees you, you would never say those things to yourself ever again.
Wow.
You would never let anyone say that to you. You would never say that to a stranger. But the things that we
Yeah,
say
that's
to
weird.
ourselves,
Think about that for a second. I don't want to interrupt you, but if somebody were to say to me what I say to me,
you would kick their ass.
they have a little bony chokehold going on. You know? I mean,
Absolutely.
seriously.
Right?
Yeah.
So it all comes down to unresolved grief and trauma.
Would you say that you work mostly with women? Do you also work with men?
I'm surprised at how many men call
I
Wow,
love
really?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that too.
for drinking issues, weight loss, sexual issues,
Relationship issues.
parenting issues, athletic, like I want to hit the ball farther, I want to ski better. I had knee surgery and now I'm afraid to get on my skis, or I'm afraid to go fast. I don't want to do the bumps because I hurt myself and now so there, it's like, so
What if people are stuck in they are in a relationship but they do not know how to actually be in a relationship? Do you work with people like that ever?
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
People
somebody
and couples.
that wants to be involved, and couples,
Yeah.
and because there's some people that are involved with other people that one wants more, but maybe the other one wants it, but they don't know how to open up to
Yeah,
it
yeah.
or express themselves with it. Can you actually work with situations like that
Totally.
as well?
Yeah,
That's
because
incredible.
it's all our self-concept. So if one person wants something, like, first of all, if you're in a one-bedroom house and you want a 3-story mansion, you need to go get a 3-story mansion. This one-bedroom house is never going to be a 3-story mansion, right? So
Unless
you,
you're a
you might need to
builder.
shift. This might not be the person long-term, but it might be the
Yeah.
person that you're in this experience for now, so that you learn your lessons so you can get to the 3-bedroom house or the
like
3-story
it.
house, if that's important.
Right.
But I think a big thing that we forget is that our thoughts can not manipulate, but facilitate other people. So if someone is constantly nagging at their spouse or constantly saying, they don't ever do that, they don't ever do that, they don't, well, it's, I feel shame, I'm going to blame you. It's really easy to focus on what they're not doing. So if I suggest to people, instead of leaving, start telling yourself, I love all the compliments he's giving me. I love the way he's opening the door for me. I love that our checking account, that he's spending wisely.
So you're saying
I love
weigh it
that.
out.
No, make him do that. Start to
Oh, you
say,
mean
I love
think
these
it
things,
and
and
he's
they
not-
do it. Just like if you said it to yourself.
Like a voodoo doll. I like.
Pretty much. It's
Make me horny.
yeah, it's quantum energy. So you put those thoughts out there. If they're, and it can't be, I can't believe that how much weight, I can't believe how good my hair looks. I can't believe,
Yeah.
you take it away.
Right.
I love all the compliments I'm getting on how great I look. I love all the things that people are saying. I love it. So it's law of assumption more than law of attraction. And I can tell you that when I was a kid,
Interesting.
I was always fascinated by the woo. Like I've been taking mediumship classes lately,
The
and
woo?
the woo woo. My mom had my chart read when I was like 12, and this woman said to me, "Ooh, you've got 5 planets in Virgo. It's going to be a tough one, but you're going to get prettier as you get older." And I was like,
Well, actually, you are getting prettier. As you
I
get
clung
older.
to that with
But she
every
really is
fiber
actually
of my
getting prettier
being,
as she gets
because I had the night thing, the
Me
night.
too.
I had braces. I didn't have glasses until the last couple years, but I always felt like the ugly duckling.
Me too.
And God damn it, it has happened that
That's
as I've gotten
awesome.
older, I've gotten prettier, because I was like, if nothing else comes true, just make this good. So throw me a bone. Jesus, throw me a fucking bone.
Yeah.
And if that was the bone, I'll take it.
Any bone will do.
You know? Not any bone. But that bone
Not
was
any
was helpful to have someone who didn't know me
Yeah.
to
That's
see
big.
in my future, this is what I see for you.
That's big.
But I also took on it's going to be hard.
But you also manifested it in your own sense too, because it was told to you and you believed it.
Right. But I believed the part where she said it's going to be hard. And so I made things hard.
Well, yeah.
Because
My
I
dad
would
told me I had
it
monkey
just-
arms, and now I have monkey arms.
No, you don't.
Wanna
But I
bet?
can tell you that I get women in my chair in their 80s, and they say, "Oh no, I can't wear a middle part. My mother said my nose was too big to have a middle part."
Oh my gosh.
You're 80.
You're
love.
80.
That what?
Blow the nose, you know?
Like
Come on.
the story that our mothers give us, or that our
Yeah.
parents give us, or that some kid on the playground when we were in second grade.
It's amazing how things stick.
Yes.
You just
God.
don't. They don't know what sticks when they throw stuff.
No, that's why they came up with that sticks and stones when you break your bones.
It's not true.
I know.
That stuff does get in.
Because
Like we want to think
sticks and
that they
stones,
don't.
you can throw a stick at me. I don't care. I'll break that off on my face. But if you
that
stab me
bruise
with
will
the
heal.
stick, it's going to hurt and stop.
But if you stab people with words, it's just as devastating.
I agree. I
know?
can't see our clock, but I think we're at the time where I think, should we lower the lights at all? Do we
Let's
need
do
to
it.
do that?
Yeah.
And then, so I just want to read this about Kacee, okay? You're an integrative hypnotic coach. And these are all the amazing things that she helps people with, living their amazing lives. And they can manage their energy in so many other ways to serve themselves in a proper fashion. Okay, so your life can be of service to you if you do the right things by yourself, and obviously self-love is one of them. And so there's vocational and avocational self-improvement. There's things about the sexual freedom that you had brought up. Weight issues, it's not always overweightness also, okay? There's people that are very small and scrawny and they feel gross, and there's that too. So this is a big thing about energy. I know that there's a lot to do with energy with this whole process, and I think that it's all positive, it's all beautiful, it's all wonderful, and I think that's why we are super happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And I love you to death. Now I am going to count 3, 2, 1 and walk away, and I'm going to go over here to the camera, and we're going to pretend like nothing is really going on at
Nothing's
all.
going on. What are you talking about?
Just in case B is not around to edit, I'm going to make a little mood enhancement. Oh, that's not doing anything. There we go. Ah. Okay. So now,
Okay. You're so cute. Would you like to enjoy a demonstration of hypnosis right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Give me this hand. Focus on your hand. Notice the lines in your hand. Notice the lines in between the lines. This is all there is right now. This is everything. Nobody needs anything from you. There's nowhere to go. Hang on to that hand. Good. Take this little time out for yourself. Nobody needs anything. And just immerse yourself fully in this experience as you focus on that hand. And this is your happy hand. It's magnetized. It feels like there's a strong magnet in your hand. And you'll notice that there's also as if your head is magnetized, your forehead. And as that hand moves closer to your face, you know that magnets are very powerful forces and you couldn't stop it if you wanted to. And notice that as that hand gets closer to your face, eventually that hand will make contact with your face. And when it makes contact with your face, you'll feel the most delicious, relaxing, peaceful feeling as that hand gets closer to the forehead. Notice that feeling doubling. Notice that magnetic force coming closer and closer. And when your hand touches your face, your eyes will close. And just let that focus get closer and closer. And as your hand touches your face, your eyes close. And notice that your hand is stuck to your face. You can try and pull it away, but notice that it's tucked to your face, and you would never want to pull away this peaceful, beautiful, relaxing feeling. And you notice the harder you try to pull it away, the stronger it sticks and the more peaceful you feel, the more deeply you go into trance. So in a moment, I'll snap my fingers. Your hand will gently drop to your lap, and as you drop that hand, you drop even deeper into hypnosis. And notice what color represents your peaceful place. You can tell me or keep it to yourself. And just remember and let that hand drop gently to your lap. And what's the texture of this beautiful feeling? You can tell me or you can keep it to yourself and tell us later. But it has a texture, and just remember it. Now notice, does that peaceful place have a fragrance? This beautiful, peaceful feeling of relaxation. Is there a fragrance that comes up? And what do you hear when you're in this beautiful, relaxing place? Maybe there's a song, maybe there's a sound, maybe it's someone's breathing. You can keep it to yourself or you can share it. And in a moment, I'll count you up from 1 to 5, and you'll be back to full awareness, wide awake, feeling relaxed and renewed, feeling better than you have in a long, long time. So 1, take a deep breath in. 2, coming back into your body. 3, remembering that you always have 3 powerful solutions to any challenge that may come up for you. And 4, coming back into the room. And 5, eyes open, wide awake, blink, blink, blink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feeling better than ever.
Feeling better than ever.
Did you see colors
Wow.
and fragrances
I did.
and smells?
Yeah, I did.
Relaxed and cozy and comfy.
Yeah.
I want to know what was the color texture.
So I felt like I saw waves, and then the color was purple, and then the scent was lilac.
I was thinking lavender, so we were close. I was like in there with you. I don't know.
So purple is the crown chakra, and
Okay.
purple is a color of protection.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that's awesome that would be the color that came to you. It's not that you chose it. It just your subconscious brought that to you.
Yeah.
And lilacs are just juicy and yummy, aren't they? Oh, I love it. Oh my God, I love them here. They're so cool. Good. So that's just a little quick version of what you feel. But everyone, when they open their eyes, is just like,
Nap time's over.
it's
can
so
feel-
cozy.
Yes, like
Yes.
the tension in my shoulders. And like the other interesting thing was like the feeling of my hand coming towards my face, because it did feel like it was-
Magnetic.
Yeah.
right? And stuck.
Isn't that
Yes.
cool? I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that. I know. I'm the same
Yeah,
way.
it's so neat.
That is
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yay.
I want to say namaste. What do you say after a hypnotic experience?
Yeah, what do you say?
I ring the little bells and I say, go in peace. And one thing I mention to people after I do a session is I tell them beforehand, give this 24 hours
Yeah.
before you talk about it with anyone.
Yeah.
Because we're
Let
doing
it
deep
resonate.
work. Let it just marinate and get in there, because not like it's Amway that someone's going to, but you don't want to pull that thread
Right.
and unravel it thinking about, what do you think that meant? What do you think that meant? Don't pull it apart. Just let it seep in, because it's like we've shaken the snow globe.
Gotcha.
And now all the pieces are going to fall to where they were supposed to be.
I love that.
And they settle into a healthier space.
Definitely need
Right?
that. And
That's
it's
wonderful.
nice just even have like the deep breaths and just
Right.
like the calmness. Like I feel
Yeah.
calmer and more relaxed.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
In
It's
just
really
a couple
interesting.
minute demo.
Coming from my crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
were a little bit verklempt earlier, a little Tasmanian-like. So this is why we wanted to bring you on here, and I just realized something. I took the camera off the tripod, so now I'm stuck holding it. I'm not really sure how to professionally put it back on the tripod.
You're just
and
going to have
be
to
in frame,
close the
so
show.
Nobody has to look at my face anymore anyway. But I wanted to really just thank you so much for coming on and just introducing
Thank you
this
for having me.
form of treatment. So when we're all feeling a little stuck or a little confused or a little lost or hopeless, or we're grieving or we're sad or we're stressed, we have anxiety or we are in pain, whether it's internal or external, or we are just feeling really bad about ourselves, or we just keep carrying all these things with us that we've been told our whole lives, and that instead of us trying to prove it to ourselves all the time, we can actually relax with Kacee and make it happen in a natural way where we can really be guided and feel good about ourselves, and then be on the road to wellness.
Can I ask a couple questions
No.
about the hypnosis?
I'm just kidding. Of course you can.
Yes, please.
But in a regular session, like how long? Like because I already feel like that. You know, I wanted more of that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like,
yeah.
how deep do you go?
It depends on what the person is kind of working with. So like
Yeah.
a smoking cessation is a 1 appointment and they're done smoking.
Oh wow.
It's a 2.5 hour appointment.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Typically it's between an hour and an hour and a half.
gotcha.
And it's more the talking about what we want to accomplish, because we're really, when someone says, you know, I just don't want to feel this, I just don't want to be fat, I just don't want to feel angry, I just don't want to be complaining all the time, I don't want to be, okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because you're getting in the taxi saying, the taxi driver goes, yeah, where do you want to go? Not here. I just don't want to be, get me out. I just want to be here.
Right.
We have to have a goal to focus
Yeah.
on, right? Where are we going? So
Right.
Good analogy.
right? So I help to future pace. So when you've lost this weight, how are you going to feel in your body? How are you're going to stop standing behind your children in your photographs? You're going to wear that bikini. You're going to put that dress on. You're going to and see yourself in that, right?
I love
so
that.
it just takes a little bit of time to get to what's the goal,
Right.
and then
Absolutely.
okay, now we're going in. And if people
Awesome.
stay in their story, I'll shut them down. I'll be like, okay, I think I have enough. Because what you're doing right now is you're grinding that negative victim stuff deeper and deeper into your subconscious, and we're here to stop that. We're stop that train of thought and make a little interrupt.
Gotcha.
Because now you're going to focus on what you do want.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really powerful.
love that.
I know. And I am like, oh, I want more.
It's just fascinating. And it's
That's
so
the
effective.
thing. You know, that's the beauty of this, that it works on so many different semblances of life, you know, so it's not something that you have to think, oh, one and done. You can work on something and then feel good, and then maybe something new comes up, and then you say, gosh, maybe I want to go relax on this a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, meditate, hypnosis, all the good stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why you're still calling it CKC Go, correct?
No.
Okay. See, now this is where I'm confused.
So the company is Neurosculpt Hypnosis.
Neurosculpt Hypnosis. I love
When
the
I
way
sold the
that's
spa, I sold her the name and
Yeah.
the
I knew
website
that.
and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
so no more CKC Go.
Nope.
CKC Go when go. She
Oh,
go.
bye-bye.
She gone.
All gone.
She gone. Okay, now do me a favor and let everybody know the website and how to reach you. And if there is anything special coming up, a seminar that you're going to be doing. I know you do some online things.
I do.
Throw it all at us right now
Okay.
before my arms fall off.
So the website is www.neurosculpthypnosis, and on that I have some information, and people can fill out an intake form and schedule an appointment for a consultation, a clarity call to see what they would like to work on,
Nice.
and have access to my schedule and book something right there on the website. Also, I'm working on a show that I'm going to be producing for a stage production.
Nice.
So once I do that, you're going to be my promoter, and we're
I
going to
can't
do
wait.
a combination and get
Well,
people on the stage
This
and do
will
some
be
hypnosis.
amazing, and we'll
Love
bring it
that.
back to the chat box
Yeah,
so everybody
yeah.
can know about it too.
And I'm working on an online course. It's going to be one-on-one at first, and then I'll make it online for people who have lost their weight through the LP whatever, semaglutide, tirzepatide weight loss
Let's just say
injections.
LGBTQ for a minute.
It's LP3 LP3.
Hell, I'm still
something
trying
like
to
that.
figure the first one out. Don't
Right.
go there.
So anyway, so people have lost a lot of weight on these shots.
Mm-hmm.
I liken it sort of to if you've been heavy all your life and you now have lost weight through these shots. It's kind of like someone who grew up in poverty and wins the lottery. If
Are
you
you talking
don't,
about like the Ozempic and stuff?
yes,
Okay.
if you don't change your relationship with food, you don't change your relationship with your body dysmorphia, you don't change your relationship with everything
gonna
that
come
you
back.
thought, you will self-sabotage yourself back to the trailer park. Right? So it's self-love, releasing trauma, releasing grief, building up confidence, ego strengthening, so that people feel like they deserve this new body that they've never had because they were beating themselves up for the last however many decades.
So they have to actually accept themselves in
Yes.
that new way, because
Yes.
otherwise they're still going to look at themselves in the negative way that they
Yes.
always did.
Right?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're a goddess, my love. Do you have
You
any
are.
more questions for Kacee?
No, I'm just excited. I would love to book a session because that was,
All right.
I mean, yeah,
There
that
we
was
go.
very
It's
tip
awesome.
of
And
the
I have a
iceberg.
YouTube channel.
Oh, very cool.
So I've got some, there's a
Yay.
really great,
Is it the same name?
I believe it's CKC Go still.
Okay,
It might be Kacee Picot. I'll have to find out for
Okay,
sure.
you got to figure that out.
Yeah, I do. But there's a really awesome boundaries hypnosis that I lead people through that you can just listen to on your headset. And I didn't realize, because I have YouTube Red, I don't have commercials. But when I've sent it to people, if they don't have YouTube Red, they're like, it has commercials all through it. So I need to put it on a Google
Okay.
to send, a
All
Google
right.
Drive to send.
You'll figure all that out, because you're gonna raise awareness to what you
Yeah.
do, and everybody's gonna get an idea of it. And I think we're all gonna want to take part in it, because it's something that's a great practice for all of us, for our sense of being, our sense of love, self-worth, self-confidence, and self-love for sure.
Yes.
Kacee Picot, thank you so much for being here on the chat.
Thank you
box.
so
Jen,
much for
Jen,
having me.
thanks
This
for
was amazing.
Going under.
Yes, that was great.
We love you guys. This is the Chat Box,
Thank you, Liz.
episode 9 with Kacee Picot. For hypnotic adventures, make sure you reach out.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody. We hope
Thank you.
something magical happens to you today.
Thank you.